Well, one, we try to get illegal guns off the street. So people that are not legally able to possess a gun or the gun itself is illegal, we take guns off the street every single night. So hopefully that makes it a little bit harder. But the prevalence of guns now, if you really want one, you can go get one. So you'll get another one. But I think it does help. We follow up on, we have a program called ShotSpotter. So now we know a lot more about shootings in our city than we ever did before, because I think it's something like 60 or 70% of the shootings in our city nobody calls in on. So ShotSpotter tells us that because we get a notification from ShotSpotter, but nobody called in. So I think it's somewhere around 60 or 70%. So it helps us get to those problem spots quicker. It might result in arrests and hold people accountable for negligently firing guns in our city or shooting at somebody and just not hitting anybody. We also work with a lot of community-based organizations like, for example, Brother to Brother. These are all people that have, predominantly most of them have spent significant time in prison. So the founder, Merv, spent 21 years in prison. But now they're out back in the communities where they came from, and they're doing great, great things. And so if we had a shooting today, especially if it's either gang-related or some sort of shooting that we believe there'll be retaliation for, we call them. And we call other groups and say, hey, let's try to stop this shooting. I'll give you an example from years ago when I was a captain up in Del Paso Heights. We had a shooting where over by a market up in Del Paso Heights, and it was like a Thursday night. And there was over 75 rounds fired between two groups. They're shooting at each other. Nobody got hit. Some left so fast they left guns behind, major, significant guns, like assault rifles. And so we knew based on the circumstances it was rival gangs that lived in both gangs were in the north area. Well, if you know anything about Sacramento, Grant High School is one of the pillars of Del Paso Heights. And Grant High School at the time had a tremendous football team. And Grant High School was what I always hear about towns in Texas, that when Friday night comes, the town shuts down. So the Heights, regardless of what gang, what part of the Heights you're from, go to the football game. So I was really worried that whatever caused tonight is going to play itself out at the football game when both groups come face to face again. And then we're going to not only have somebody hurt at the game, if not killed, but now you're putting in the game in jeopardy of young people that want to play football. So I called Brother to Brother. They came out in mass, and they worked the game. And nothing happened, and the game went on. A couple years ago, maybe 2017, their basketball team was in the playoffs against the greatest high school of all time, Sac High. And it was a playoff game. It's the most packed I've ever seen Grant's gym. And the principal and vice principal, because those communities have some rival gangs, was concerned that these folks might come and then they're going to run into each other at the game. Well, Brother to Brother manned every door and only let people in that had tickets. And the game went, baselines were packed with fans. The referee almost shut it down because it was too crowded. But again, nothing happened. Now my question is, in some cases, or not my question, but my point being is, in some cases it's good to have police officers there. And in other cases it's better to have Brother to Brother there. There's more connection, more influence to do the right thing sometimes. And so the trick is figure out which one is which.